Hey everybody, I want to Weasel here. Wednesday, October 23rd, 2013, about this time last week. Getting back from Toys R Us with the first of the Wave 2 release characters. That said, got I think 7 or so unboxings done last night somehow. Got them all edited and uploaded for you. Details on the blog are coming. I have to sleep at least 2 to 3 hours a night, so that said, they'll get up. Other thing, my nephew and I had a Minecraft war going. I didn't want to use the iPad and actually, edit the pictures, and wind up losing that somehow. So I think I'm home free there. I am going to try to keep it. A couple weird things happening there, and I think I got a screenshot of Hero Brian, which is weird. It could be a light effect, I don't know, but it looks, like glowing eyes from a distance. So nonetheless, we have wrapped up now, actually, all of the Newlanders, essentially the brand new characters for Skylanders Swap Force. We've cranked out, of course, our Swap Force characters, the true swappers split in half at the waist. We've knocked out, like I said, all of the Wave 2, all the launch day release, all the brand new characters. Grim Creeper, Starstrike, Scorp, Smolder Dash, Roller Brawl, Riptide, etc., Slobbertooth. Now, we're actually going to go ahead and get back to the Series 2 and Series 3, but before we do that, we've got 2 more LightCore characters to go. You probably know who they are. They're both available at launch. Haven't seen really a shortage of them anywhere, but we're going to go ahead and get started here with LightCore Flashwing. I guess this video could be dedicated to Cassie. She is a very big Flashwing fan, so nickname of her LightCore Flashwing is actually Cassie. So anyway, if you don't know what that means, look it up. Picked this up at Target on launch day. The reason I did that, I grabbed every LightCore, with the exception of Smolder Dash, because LightCore Smolder Dash was not at Target when I got there. But actually had no signs of her having a peg either, which was a bit disturbing. That said, LightCore Flashwing, picked her up there. Ultimately, price there I think is $12.99. Wound up returning her, and I picked her up at Toys R Us because, again, I was very busy with the car show. Didn't realize there was the buy one get one 40%. So same old song and dance with Tornado. In theory, I paid $13.99, saved the 40% at Toys R Us. So again, interesting thing this year on the LightCore. There's no character art up here. Like if you look back, well, you actually can't see it, so I'll just get Tariff in here. He's got the character artwork, and note the rounded corner. Also, it's got the series designation. He's Series 3. You can see back there, Sprocket Series 2. Blizzard Chill, Super Gulp Pop Fist, Series 2, 3 center guys, of course, Series 3. No series designation here, but note how it's got the sharp corner. It's not rounded. That's just kind of an interesting oddity there, if anyone cares. Main thing, though, absence of the character artwork. Down at the bottom, no slogan. Flashwings is, of course, Blinded by the Light. Now you probably got a song stuck in your head. You're welcome. Again, I think the reason they did this is actually to try and draw attention to the fact that, hey, this is a different character, does something special, it's desirable, etc. That's kind of a big issue, like with single pack Starstrike and LightCore Starstrike, both available now. Eventually, we'll have Smolder Dash, I guess, is the best example. And you want to be able to distinguish between, hey, why would I buy this? It looks, and in the case of Starstrike and LightCore Starstrike, I mean, unless you really pay attention, they look almost exactly the same. You'd have to just note the finite differences in the arm position, and then of course the eyes, which some people don't get into the detail, are not big fans. They're just kind of picking them up for someone or trying to find somebody they think would be fun, may not realize that. So that's my theory. Again, probably just trying to draw emphasis to that. Flashwing, conveniently enough, should have brought Jade over here. She's in a container by the Wii right now. This is what Flashwing looked like. She, of course, with a Newlander in Skylanders Giants. Hails from the Earth element. Very nice pose there. Depending on when you get her, and this is something some of you may want to go chase down, but this was like the early figure. Let me check this. Oh, it's a Lost Islands message. Nothing too important, I suppose. But depending on when you got Flashwing, there are color variations. This isn't anything to chase down like a special variant or anything. It's just, I mentioned in SSA, my Stump Smash, looked one way, and then a couple of months later after Christmas, It's like, wow, that green sure changed. Same thing with Hothead. Early Hotheads aren't as vibrant now. If you look at Hothead and compare him to the one, say, you got when he first became available, you'll notice a color change. Again, this is probably just like factory painting things. Can't explain it to you. If you work in industry, you know how it goes. You'll be using something, you're happy with it, you love it, and then all of a sudden it changes. And there's no reason given. The supplier went out of business. Whoever they picked it up from, they changed the color. The government made some regulation, and you can't use some X pigment amount of red. All kinds of crazy junk. People just are kind of oblivious to. But keep that in mind. She also had here in the U.S. anyway, had the Target exclusive Jade Flashwing. That's the same pose, of course, just kind of has an emphasis on green. Looks really well, and more importantly, we got to take both paths. That said, down here at the bottom, Earth Element, of course, holographic look, again, prism break, nice touch, particularly in this case since she's Earth Element. There's LC Starstrike Showcase there in the inset box art. If this matches correctly, she should have her wings light up. In all honesty, that's all I could figure. I wasn't quite sure how that would work. I was thinking it might be like the top of her head and the gem there. I will actually have to see. I have not put her on the portal to see what she lights up like. It'll be news to me, so excited to see that. Again, LightCore, they've got the LC power and the flash bomb effect. I've got my personal opinions on this. I'll cover some of that here shortly. Other featured characters, LightCore Smolder Dash. She looks wicked on the portal. If you have not watched that unboxing, do it. If you don't like the details, skim ahead until you see the lights go dim. She looks really good with the lights up. LightCore Warnado, he's who we're going to unbox next. LightCore Grim Creeper, saw him last night and still yet to come. LightCore Whamshell. I don't know why this wouldn't work in Giants. I'm understand maybe like the LightCore effect might not, but I would think you could use her there. Sometimes they do this just to be safe. I'll actually check into that. Same thing with Warnado. In theory, I would think he would be backward compatible to SSA. We'll have to check on that. But again, the reason that's not checked is because they're probably in SSA for Warnado, and in Giants, I guess SSA and Giants for Warnado, and then Giants for Flashwing, they're probably not going to have, their LightCore ability. Essentially, if you put LightCore Flashwing on the portal in Giants, she's not going to have the flash bomb effect. But I believe she should work there. Again, don't hold me to that. I believe that is correct. We'll go ahead and cut this open. I'm really stoked. Both of these characters came back. I think Flashwing is a bit underrated still. Same with, I guess Warnado's not really underrated. I think he's got that niche fan base. I'm really excited about him since he was Castaway originally. The sad thing here, and this is one of my issues with the LightCore, in theory they should be the better figure. They cost a little bit more, they light up, which is cool. They have that light up effect in the game. When you put them on the portal, they'll pretty much clean the screen. What they lack is a wow pow. So, Super Gulp, Pop Fizz, Blizzard Chill, Heavy Duty Sprocket, all these characters that came back from Giants in standard toy form, non-LightCore, they've got a wow pow, something added to them, because bear in mind, just like Riptide, Starstrike, Scorp, they just have a soul gem. Assuming in the next game Scorp comes back, he'll have a wow pow, unless they change things on us. If Sprocket returns in the next game, she should have a different wow pow, just like we see with the Series 3, Chop Chop Spyro Eruptor. The thing that's really sad is the LightCore, unless they don't advertise it or promote it well, still do not have a wow pow, and that's really the killer for me. I mean, in my opinion, the figure costs a little bit more, it lights up, it is extra special, and it should translate that to the game, not just in terms of, here's my flash bomb, but I feel like they should really have the wow pow, particularly, and this is my other complaint, the flash bomb effect is used initially, and it's done. You can't charge it up. It's not at the user's discretion. I could go on about it. I've mentioned it countless times, but that's my main thing. While it's awesome she's back, Chill, Pop Fizz, and Sprocket also join her. So does Turbo Jetpack, in a Series 2 form. But they don't have wow pow. So essentially, LightCore Flashwing is like playing Skylander Giant's orange base Flashwing in Swap Force, because there's no new additional power. It's pretty much the same old song and dance, albeit with the LightCore powers, which again are cool, but I personally feel they need to take it a step beyond the regular figure and simply have a WoW pal for these guys. We'll go ahead and, if you want to keep this stuff, my advice is cut the tape, particularly on these LightCore. The spikes are there. The prism brick deal sticks up. It's just really hard not to bend it. The LightCore are tougher to unbox as well. They seem to be packaged a bit differently. But what I like to do is come in and get the character by the base and then work the plastic down. That way, whatever the light up effect may be, I have the least chance of breaking it. It looks pretty good. We'll take a look at that here in a second. This is the really hard part. Yeah, that's what you want to avoid if you keep that stuff. Again, the good news is I don't in most cases. So not a big deal for me, but again, if you do want to keep that stuff in mint condition, cut the tape. It will save your lunch. So that's it. What we get is the very nice holographic character card. This is really your first look at LightCore Flashwing's character artwork, since it's not on the box. It actually looks really good. Got to give him credit there. There's the sticker sheet. You got her name, LightCore Flashwing, QR code, and a web code down below that for the mobile games. Let us take a look at her stats here. Real simple one. Starting at the top, power, 55 of 200. That seems very disproportionately off. She's a very strong character, even box stock. Armor, 90 of 200. Agility, 90 of 200. And luck, 90 of 200. That puts her at 325 out of 800. That's pretty good. Can't quite remember. I think some of them were at 320. I remember LightCore Smolder Dash, I think, was 335 yesterday. But nonetheless, pretty nice. Again, take that link at the top of the video description box to the blog. That will actually highlight the slogan, the backstories, eventually pictures, both standard, character pose lit up on the portal, and it'll have the card stats for you. That's it. Let's take a look at her figure. Again, her slogan, blinded by the light. Something I noticed, the paint on this isn't the greatest. I know my LightCore Starstrike, she kind of had that like blemish, not LightCore, but my regular Starstrike, kind of has like that pinprick right there. I mean, it's a minor deal, but just trying to assess everything as best I can. This is one of those deals, I don't know if it's intentional or it just, was kind of like running low on paint. It's like a really nice coat of white here on her back, the shoulder blade region. But then if you come around to the front, it kind of starts to be less coverage, I guess. It's almost essentially like the entire toy is like this translucent pink, trademark Flashwing. But then it just didn't cover as well. Now, it may have been intended that could let light shine through. It could, kind of give a glow or a reflection or something. I don't quite know yet. What I can tell you, right there on her chest, you see the Earth Element logo. Very nice touch. Overall, she looks really good. It's just kind of that minor, I'm not sure if the paint, like this foot, the front foot on the right-hand side here, has not great coverage, but you can tell they intended for it to be white. You come around here to the left side and there's like no paint coverage at all. So again, I don't quite know if that was intentional or if it was just something else, but right there's kind of like a blemish in the paint as well. It's almost like this spot didn't get any and that had a pile up or something. Same thing on the other side. There could be a dimple effect. I don't really know. Do not see that on the original, but anyway, it's one of those deals. I simply don't know if it was intended to be covered completely or just kind of have a fade effect. It looks fine as is. It's just that may be an issue for some people. I'm excited to see how she lights up. Now, I know that white paint shouldn't be there on the translucent portion of her wing. You can kind of see it right above my fingernail. Other than that, the blue has got the nice texture feel. It's that same like shiny aqua metallic. Looks really good on her. Same with the breastplate. She's got the gem in her head. Really cool backstory. Again, if you don't know it, get ready. Flashwing's true origins are a mystery. but her first appearance came when Bash made a wish that he could fly and looked up to see the shooting star streak across the sky and land in the valley below. In the center of the glowing impact crater was a large, brilliant geode, which suddenly cracked open to reveal Flashwing. Bash may not have soared that day, but his heart sure did, because Flashwing was beautiful and lethal. As soon as Bash stepped closer, the gem dragon turned towards him. Not knowing if he was friend or foe, she blasted him off the cliff with a full force of laser pulse from her tail. Perhaps Bash flew that day after all. So Chaos probably likes that story. He's kind of been getting his tail handed to him by the lady, so he can probably relate there. Nonetheless, pretty interesting backstory. And again, it does leave a lot to be desired in terms of where did she come from. Again, that's something that could potentially be explored in quests, novels, future chapters, all kinds of potential there. Again, moment of truth here is how's she going to light up? What would be really cool is if everything lit up. That never gets to happen. It'd be really hard to actually get that. I mean, it's too thin. They'd almost have to, 4 times that size to probably get like a rope in there, a strand of LEDs. I'm thinking it's probably going to be the gem in her, head, and then probably the back like we see with LightCore Smaller Dash. My hope is that then that may radiate and maybe reflect off of some of that translucence or something. That said, I've got the trusty old SSA wireless portal. Let's see if it'll still fire up for me. Indeed it does. Okay, that's nice. That's not what I anticipated, but it's actually there in her back, and it goes into the wings. Not, the translucent part, but just up that a little bit. I think with the lights out, this is going to look pretty cool. Let me go kill the lights, and we will take a look at that. Oh yeah, she puts out some light. This is what you think of. She is going to give a run for the money in terms. Look at the detail you can see. I mean, the light source is behind it. You can see the, wrinkles in my hand. That means she's putting out some serious light. The main thing, though, what I like, look at the detail. You can see the earth element. You can see, kind of that metallic color. You can see the texture. And this is all from the front side. Again, the light source is not from her skull area, radiating through that gem in the back of her head. That's what I expected, given what they've done thus far with them. But this is kind of like the center of her back. I'm going to turn it around for you. That is nice. You can see her entire, wing pattern there. In fact, if I can find her, reach around. I've got regular Flashwing here in my hand. You can actually see her just from the light. I'm going to stick her on the portal of power as well. That puts out enough light that you can fully see Skylanders Giants fly. That is ridiculous. One of the reasons I liked Prism Break so much, number one, it really fit him, his LightCore pose. Number two, it put out a lot of light. This puts out a ton of light. This ties in very well with Flashwing. And again, check that out. The LightCore is the one I'm sliding back and forth here, obviously. But we can see Skylanders Giants Flashwing perfectly. That is very unexpected, very, very nice. Flashwing is an incredible character down either path. I think you've got the Super Crystal Shards and the Super Spinner path, if I remember right. Both of them, you really can't go wrong with either one. You just kind of have to pick if you prefer, the spin attack or her projectile attack and run with that. But again, if you've just getting Flashwing for the first time, don't have Giants, haven't played her before, see if you like her primary or secondary attack better, and then just run with that for your upgrade path. Her Soul Gem, the Crystal Lighthouse, kind of relates to that secondary one. That said, the only complaint that I truly have on LightCore Flashwing is that they haven't gone in and added the Wow Pal. I understand the justification may be when you put them on the portal, you get the Flash Bomb. If you don't know what that is, it basically means if you're having trouble in an area losing all your Skylanders, grab one of these slightly more expensive LightCore, stick them on the portal, and you hear that voice of the announcer say, LightCore. And it basically just, everything on the pool table would just be decimated. So, it's really cool. It would definitely come in handy if you're having trouble in certain areas. But I just feel like the LightCore, it's just like the legendaries. They've got slightly better stats. What I would personally like to see is simply give them the flash bomb, give them the light up in the game, obviously on the portal, which this one is awesome. But let her have the wow pow. With the flash bomb effect only being in the beginning here, I can't see the power button on the portal. But with the flash bomb effect only being at the beginning, I don't feel like it's making the character too strong or too powerful. I may have to go turn the lights on because now I cannot, like I said, find that power button. But you got a good look at her. She looks really cool. Hang on one second. Alright, and we are back. My apologies there. Really hard to see this thing at night with the lights up. Okay, now she's back on. Again, I cannot stress enough. This is a very, very good LightCore. It does what it's supposed to do. You can see the lights there. I'm impressed by it. Main thing, she puts out a crud ton of light, and that's awesome. That's what they're supposed to do. She looks good with the lights on, but if you go ahead and dim the lights in the room you're playing in, turn them off or something, you will be very impressed by her. So far, both LightCore Flashwing and Smolder Dash have been really nice. Grim Creeper too, I prefer his regular LightCore over the legendary, in terms of light output anyway. But LightCore Flashwing, seriously blinded by the light. They nailed this one. Again, a lot of people weren't fans of the LightCore because of the wow pow, and then they got Chill or Drobot and were really disappointed. You know, stick to the cool stuff. I mean, there's been some good points. Prism Break, I thought Jet Vac was kind of cool last time around. Eruptor made sense, you know. LightCore Flashwing, very nicely done. Same thing for Smolder Dash. Again, if you have not seen that unboxing, check it out. I do the same thing with her. Turn the lights out, twirl her around for you. Looks really good with the lights out. That's it. That's pretty much it. Again, my only complaint, I truly believe that the LightCore should have the wow pow. Literally make them a step above, you know, their previous generations and then current gen, you know, so... The cool thing here, there is no regular Flashwing in the S Swap Force game. Same thing with Warnado. There's not like a Series 2 Warnado. There's not the Series 2 Flashwing, but they get a LightCore pose. Like I said, the only drawback there, the cool thing from a fan perspective is it brings more characters into the mix. Some of you are probably happy there's no duplicates, etc., particularly with characters we've already had. Again, the real only downside is lack of a wow pow, in my opinion. So that's personal opinion of mine. It's something I've said since day one. I'll stick by it. But LightCore Flashwing, awesome. Very impressed. Again, I had hoped it would be her wings, but I didn't see how they could do it. And based on what I've seen and what they have a track record of, you know, Hothead, Smolder Dash, etc., I was thinking it would be the gem, you know, like the back of the head, and then hopefully that would shine down a little. Where they did it, it's kind of like right in there, and I mean, that works really well, and it puts out a ton of light, so I'm happy with her. $13.99 is what I paid at Toys R Us. Again, I haven't really had any trouble finding any of the LightCores outside of Smolder Dash. My Target, for whatever reason, on launch day didn't have a lot of stock, but then, you know, Toys R Us had them falling off the pegs. GameStop had tons of them. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But like I said, I don't think you'll have any trouble finding her. Definitely pick her up. She looks really good. But I will leave it at that. Again, very impressed by this lady. She's done a nice job with her LightCore pose. So, questions, comments, feel free to ask here on YouTube for a quicker response. I suggest you use the blog, oneofwisdom.com. Again, I'll have that linked at the top of the video description box. It'll take you straight to this post specifically on LightCore Flashwing. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Again, make sure to subscribe. That'll keep you up with all the latest unboxings, playthroughs, channel updates, anything cool going on. I'll keep you up to the minute on it. But once again, thank you for watching, and as Flashwing would say, particularly as LightCore Flashwing would say, blinded by the light.